In this video, we're going to walk through how brands can sell rotating clubs, i.e. mystery subscription boxes, to lift customer retention by 49%, boost product discovery, and supercharge LTV via cross-sell and upsell strategies. My name is Eric Andrews, and I'm the Director of Commerce Strategy at Ordergroove. And in the next few minutes, based on the benchmarks we're collecting with our merchants, I'm going to show you the unit economics and overall business impact brands see when they launch rotating clubs. Okay, let's dive in. Okay, so in today's lecture, we are going to talk about two major things. The first is that we are going to cover a case study and analyze the unit economics impact that rotating clubs can have on your business compared with a traditional pay-as-you-go subscription. So we'll look at the customer lifetime value, the LTV minus CAC, and some other metrics. And then we are going to talk about the adoption metrics. So what percentage of customers will choose a rotating club based on the data that we're collecting here with our merchants at Ordergroove, so you can see how rotating clubs can move the needle with your overall unit economics at your company. So before we dive into those two things, let's first just talk about who this video is for. This video is for e-commerce and retail businesses interested in evaluating the overall business impact for rotating clubs, aka curated subscriptions, and they're also often called mystery subscription boxes. And so how do rotating clubs work? So brands can offer subscribers novelty by delivering a new merchant-selected rotation of items in each shipment. So the brand is curating different products for the subscriber every single box. So an example is for a coffee brand, they could say, each month we'll take you on a journey to a new type of coffee. Okay, so why do rotating clubs matter? So what we've seen at Ordergroove with our merchant data is that rotating club subscriptions have 49% higher customer retention versus a pay-as-you-go subscription. So they're very impactful on the retention side. They're also a great opportunity for product discovery, and they can unlock superior inventory planning. That can be either on the retention side because you have a longer lifetime and can understand where your demand will come from further in the future, or that can also be wanting to move inventory that's currently not selling by putting it into a box. And so this can help on the inventory side as well. Let's just cover briefly the three reasons why clubs drive higher retention, and then we'll dive into our case study. The first thing is novelty. So less subscription fatigue keeps customers around longer. They keep subscribing because they're excited to see what they'll get next. The second thing is cross-sell and upsell opportunities. So because customers are constantly discovering new products that they may not have purchased before or chosen for themselves before, there are a lot of opportunities to try to cross-sell and upsell customers on these new products and get them onto new subscriptions. The third thing is product level data. So if you can have the product level data of every single SKU that goes into your rotating club box, you can closely monitor which items lead to higher churn or higher retention to avoid or include them in future boxes. So if you can get analytics into your box, there are a lot of ways that you can drive additional subscriptions and drive your churn down. Now let's talk about unit economics case study based on the benchmarks that we are collecting here at Ordergroove. We are going to look at the customer lifetime value difference between traditional pay-as-you-go subscriptions. So those are subscriptions of the same products every time. They can be canceled any order, versus rotating club subscriptions based on the benchmarks we are collecting. So first off, let's assume that our product costs $49 with no discount. So you can see here the average order value with no discount. And we're assuming that the order value will be the same for pay-as-you-go subscriptions and rotating clubs. What's different is basically the products inside. So we are going to assume that the discount for each of these subscriptions is 15%. So that drives your average order value discounted down to $42. So that's the revenue that you collect on each transaction. And then we are assuming that the product COGS are also the same for each of these two segments of customers. So $9 of product COGS in terms of manufacturing the product, and then $15 of fulfillment COGS. So that's $24 of total COGS. So our gross profit is $18 per order, which is 42% of revenue. So our gross profit margin is 42% in both scenarios. But now the real difference comes in terms of the customer lifetime orders. So let's say that our typical pay-as-you-go subscription right now has 5 lifetime orders for the product that we are selling, and then we launch a rotating club. So immediately what we can tell you is that rotating clubs on average drive 49% higher retention. So we can make the estimation that if our lifetime orders on our pay-as-you-go subscription is 5, the lifetime orders on rotating clubs will probably be around 7.5. So here's where the real difference comes up. So if we go down and we look at the customer lifetime revenue, so that's the total revenue per order times the 5 lifetime orders, you have $245 of lifetime revenue for a pay-as-you-go subscription versus $365 for a rotating club. So of course, that's a 49% increase. And then if we look at the customer lifetime value, that is the gross profit of those orders. So what we see here is we make $18 of gross profit per order times 5 orders. So our customer lifetime value on the pay-as-you-go subscription is $88, and the customer lifetime value on the rotating club is $131. Again, 49% higher. But the real leverage comes from the following metric. So what we see is that your customer acquisition costs will be similar across pay-as-you-go and rotating clubs, where customers get to decide which subscription ultimately they want to enroll into. And so if you look at your customer lifetime value, $88, minus your CAC, which is your marketing cost to acquire the customer, what you have is $38 of post-marketing LTV. So that's your LTV minus CAC. So from when your customer starts their customer lifetime, you acquire them, until the end date when they ultimately churn off and they're no longer a customer, over that entire lifetime, you make $38 of profit. Now with the club, because the CAC is the same, the 49% higher LTV actually translates into much more post-marketing lifetime profit. So what you see is $131 minus $50 in customer acquisition costs actually gets you $81. So you make $81 in lifetime profit after marketing versus $38 with the pay-as-you-go subscription. So this is an increase in your profitability per customer of 113%. So you can see that that is a more than doubling of your unit economics, your per customer profitability. So rotating clubs have a huge impact on your business. And the second thing that is really, really interesting about rotating clubs is the adoption. But before we dive into that, I want to say one quick thing. If your brand is looking to drive recurring revenue by launching rotating clubs, Ordergroove offers smarter rotating clubs with product level data to combine your club with cross-sell and upsell efforts to encourage subscribing to newly discovered products to supercharge LTV. The leading brands and retailers in the space have chosen Ordergroove to power their subscriptions, including companies like the Dollar Shave Club, L'Oreal, La Colombe, PetSmart, and many more. If you're doing over $1 million in subscriptions and need advanced capabilities like rotating clubs, memberships, prepaids, and bundles, or if you're on a homegrown system and want to lower your technology costs and innovate faster, come book a demo with us to learn how you can take your customer retention and recurring revenue to the next level. Also, you can download this Excel template linked in the description below, and don't forget to follow Ordergroove on LinkedIn to stay up to date with the latest subscription and recurring revenue trends. Okay, now let's talk about what are the adoption benchmarks for rotating clubs. How many customers will actually enroll into them? So what we see with our merchants is that at least 50% of customers will choose a rotating club over a pay-as-you-go subscription. And with many merchants, we see the numbers as high as 70, 80, 90%. So customers love rotating clubs. And so let me show you how much a rotating club at the low end of our adoption benchmark, which is 50% of customers, can impact your unit economics. Let's say our business today is offering 100% pay-as-you-go subscriptions, as we just covered up above in our unit economics analysis. The LTV minus CAC of pay-as-you-go subscriptions is $38. So that is our average post-marketing profit per customer. But let's say we launch rotating clubs and we hit the 50% adoption benchmark. What you'd ultimately see here is that 50% of your customers have an LTV minus CAC of 38, and then 50% of your customers have an LTV minus CAC of 81. So your average, your weighted average LTV minus CAC goes up to $60. So the profitability per customer across your entire company would go up from $38 to $60. So that's a 57% increase, and most of that would go directly to your cash flow. So rotating clubs are an extremely powerful way to increase the underlying cash flow and profitability of your business. A well-run rotating club can unlock growth through higher customer retention, product discovery, and new cross-sell and upsell opportunities. If you want to discover how rotating clubs can drive success for your business, book a demo with us using the link in the description below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll see you again in the next e-commerce strategy guide video.